The problem with Job's comforters. It's Daily Bible Time. It's Wednesday morning and it's Dominic Steele here. The friends of Job are really down on Job because they're hearing Job as saying God is unfair. Here's how their system of theology plays out. And if you read Job 4 through 27, you'll hear this come through really clearly. Ash says in his summary, really simply and clearly, God is absolutely in control. And we've seen that's one of the foundational markers laid down by the narrator in the first two chapters. God is also absolutely just and fair. Therefore, God always punishes wickedness and blesses righteousness. And pretty soon, and definitely in this life, for if he were ever to do otherwise, he must be unjust, which is inconceivable. Therefore, if I suffer, I must have sinned, and I am being punished justly for my sin. Correspondingly, if I'm blessed, I must have been good. Although that's not so relevant, so it's not really developed. But that logic stands behind what Elihu, Bildad, and Zophar say. Emotionally, it's strongly put. Listen to this quote from Bildad. He says, "Since your children sinned against him, he gave them over to their rebellion. But if you, Job, earnestly seek God, ask the Almighty for mercy. If you, Job, are pure and upright, then he'll move now on your behalf and restore your home where your righteousness dwells. Then even if your beginnings were modest, your final days will be full of prosperity." Now, my kids are all still alive, but if a child of mine had died and 10 of Job have died, and somebody said to me what Bildad said to me, well, that is super hurtful. What do you make of it? As a theological system. It's not stupid. God is in control. God is just and fair. The comforters might be right when they call on Job to repent. And yet in the first two chapters, 3 times it was said that Job is blameless. Job 1, verse 1, there was a man in the country of Uz named Job. He was a man of complete integrity who feared God and turned away from evil. And then that point gets repeated twice more in Job 1 and 2. Actually, Job does not need to repent of any significant sin that has led to this significant suffering. He's not here being punished for sin. Ash points out, to imply that he is to add to the cruel burden of his grief. And the friends say that, and they say it again for all those chapters. They don't have any honesty, they don't have any sympathy, and they don't have any love. They've inherited their dogmatic dogmas that they're repeating. But they're not looking at the world as it actually is. If they were listening to God, they would know what they're saying is a caricature of the truth, but not actually true. They're not sympathetic. I mean, they start sympathetic, but they don't understand Job's pain. They're more attached to their theories than they are to Job as a friend. They don't love. It doesn't look like the friends actually love Job. I remember Rick Smith saying to me once, people don't want to know how much you know until they know how much you care. These guys don't care. Tomorrow we talk on Daily Bible Time about what the so-called comforters get theologically wrong in other areas. We'll see you then.